one. 60 seconds. Stand by. Yay. Maybe I should just play. I think I'm just going to play. Are we on? Yeah. Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Woo! This is great, isn't it? There's all these new people here today that I've never seen before. A bunch of tall, pointy hats around. This is looking good. And I bet you didn't know the Pope played piano. But apparently he does today. Anyway, welcome. We're going to have fun. We're going to sing I Start My Day with Love. Here we go. I start my day with love. I start my day with love. That's what I get more of. With love. I start my day with love. I start my day with love. I think love is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. My day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Yes, I start my day with peace. I start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace. Okay, joy, here we go. Start my day with joy. I start my day with joy. Everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, day with joy. I start my day with joy. Everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. You can sing with us if you remember it. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. And I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. Sweet
That is. All right. Is that better? Thank you. I'm not used to doing it myself. Okay. We welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland as we gather with a consciousness of the underlying quantum field that supports us all. Within this movement, within this idea, we can have all the stuff happening in the outer. And yet what we get to know is underneath it all is a quantum field of love, of life, of the presence and power of pure spirit, and we are all a part of it. So I just invite you to take a deep breath in, whether you're in this space right here or you're in our virtual family around us. We recognize and know that all of us are a part of that field. We hold people who are from every arena, those who are in Maine, beginning to say, how do I heal? What do I do? those who are in Israel and Gaza and all. We just hold this space for all that is happening, for our House of Representatives. We hold a space that is one of a larger idea than may be what is being expressed right now. So I just invite you, in just a moment, we're going to begin our service in prayer. It's really easy to shut our hearts, to close our hearts, saying, this shouldn't be happening, this shouldn't be happening, this shouldn't be happening, and we don't know where to go. One of the things that I know is when we open our hearts and we move to our center, we actually tie in to the universal quantum field. And we recognize that while the appearance may be this, the underlying reality is oneness. It is God, it is infinite, and that's where we're all evolving to and from. And so I just invite you, as we begin this service in prayer, to open your hearts, to open your minds to a larger story than we may understand at this moment. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we open. We open to this larger story, to a willingness to awake, to say yes to the one presence and one power, the very vibration of love, of divine intelligence that moves through each one of us individually. Collectively, in this country, we hold that knowing of pure energy, of pure life, pure wisdom moving through every being. Hearts being healed, opened, remembering we are one humanity, and around this globe, every country, everywhere, we are one. One understanding, one light that vibrates in and through and as each of us now. As we hold this idea and allow it to live and move and have its being within our being, we say yes to the infinite, a larger understanding and an opening for love, for this opportunity to gather in a willingness to open to the larger story and to stand in the knowing that every being is divine. We say thank you, infinite Spirit. We loose this and know that there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in our lives. God, the infinite good. And so it is. Amen. And Beth is going to come up and share with you lots of the wonderful things happening.
Good morning. Happy Halloween, everybody. I know, I think there's enough of us witches here. We're going to get together after the service and cast some good spells. Yeah. Yes. So I first want to honor our prayer chaplains this morning. Our prayer chaplains are the foundation of this ministry. I know I say it all the time. We're based on prayer, intentional prayer, and they are here to pray with you this morning if you have a need. So if you would stand, Carol and Susan are available for you today following the service. If you're not ready to pray in person, you can submit a prayer request, drop it in this prayer box right here, and it will be held for 30 days. If you need a little midweek lift, you can call the Dial a Prayer, and that will give you a wonderful inspirational message. And you can also join in a guided meditation on Sunday mornings at 10:30 in our chapel, led by one of our chaplains. So we are happy to have them with us today. So we have one retreat down and one to go. I hear the men had a great weekend, a wonderful time here together. Can still feel some of that energy in here this morning. And November's here. We have all kinds of offerings for you to create a meaningful and heartfelt holiday. We want to be your sanctuary as we are catapulted into Christmas, because it's happening. I don't know if you've been in a store lately, but it's happening. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, we're starting with our women's retreat next weekend. Wonderful Friday evening and all day Saturday. You can still register today. Time is of the essence, but we'd love to have you join us for a woman's time out with Karen Drucker. And I think we can all agree we all need a little time out, right? Yeah. So anyway, we hope you join us. Sign-ups are out on the table and also on the website and in the newsletter. So the Teens' annual Fresh Wreath and Garland sale kicks off today. We do this every year with a local family-run farm here in Oregon. And beautiful wreaths and garland. This supports the teen ministry and them getting to go to camps and rallies and things of that nature. The teens are downstairs today making Halloween happen for the younger people, which is great. They've got a haunted house set up and all kinds of wild stuff. They spent the night here working on it. It's a lot of fun down there. You're gonna have a great time. But Hannah is sitting at the desk today for the wreath sale, so make sure you stop by and see her. Grab a flyer. You can also do that on the website as well. But they've also prepared a wonderful lunch for you today. This is part of their fundraising efforts. So we invite you to a beautiful baked potato bar downstairs following the service. Make sure you come and join us for lunch. It's for a love offering. So we welcome you to come down and do that. Support our kids. They appreciate it. You still have one more week to get in on the prayer, principle, and practice class that started last Monday. The second class is tomorrow night, 6:30. This is in person here with Reverend Lisa, Carol Keffler, and Lynn Soden. This is a, gosh, I'm sorry, I lost it there for a second. This is a requirement to become a prayer chaplain. And of course, you don't have to be on that path to take this class. It is based on New Thought, Unity Basics, and Affirmative Prayer. $15 a class. You can join in anytime, so you can join them tomorrow night. So we've been talking a lot about the Arts and Crafts Fair. Pretty exciting. We have 20 plus vendors. This is big, folks. This is big. Because a lot of these people, this is the first thing they've done since the pandemic. And it's the first thing we've done since the pandemic. So now we're moving into, okay, we really have to get behind this event and support it and promote it. Any of you who are on Facebook, go to that event for the arts and crafts sale. Say that you're going, say that you're interested, share it. Take some flyers, hand them out to your friends in your neighborhood. You can also donate to the community table, which is handmade items that you can donate and that we can sell as a church table. We're also doing silent auctions. Got a beautiful tea set basket today. Anyway, all kinds of cool stuff. So let your imagination go. Heidi Sabatka. Heidi, I'm going to have you stand. Heidi is one of our volunteer coordinators for the Arts and Crafts Sale. She's going to be out as you go downstairs to Coffee and Connection. If you have any questions, talk to her for a minute, let her know what they are, offer your support, tell her what you're bringing for the silent auction. It's going to be great. Colleen Story is creating lunch that day. So even if you get a group together and come for lunch, okay, it's going to be awesome. So make sure you put that on your calendar. That is November 10th and 11th, Friday and Saturday. Then on Sunday, November 12th, following the service, we're going to have a sound bath experience. And this is a wonderful way to immerse ourselves in the healing sounds of singing bowls. It's just very healing. It's a wonderful way to nurture our body, mind, and soul before we head into the holidays. So you want to make sure to be a part of that. And then on Friday, November 17th, another opportunity to bring balance to your lives is the drumming circle. And this is the last drumming circle of this year. And it's at 7 o'clock, November 17th. You can bring your own drum or percussion instrument, or you can use one of the many that Kim Alder brings with her to share. It's a wonderful time, $10 suggested love offering. Sunday, November 19th, we're taking Makers Meetup in a little different tack. We are gonna do a Sunday morning Makers Meetup. We're gonna be downstairs at Coffee and Connection. We're gonna make origami stars. So this is kind of like a family. We're opening this up to the community. Everybody can join in and make something to share for our holiday decorations this year. So that's on the 19th. Then we move into Thanksgiving. I know it's a lot, but I'm gonna run through them real quick. We collect used candles every year for our Thanksgiving Eve service. We have a gratitude service. It's a really beautiful thing. We collect used candles for the weeks before. So now's the time, dig through your candles at home, put them in a bag, bring them to church on Sunday, and we'll give them extra life at the service. I mentioned last week our bingo's taking a holiday hiatus. This Thursday, November the 2nd, is the last bingo for this year. They're gonna take off November and December, so if you haven't been here to support them yet, this is your week to do so. That starts at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. And last but not least, before we welcome our first-time guest, the dreaded time change announcement. Dun, 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 dun. It's happening next Sunday. Actually, turn your clocks back. You'll get an extra hour of sleep. but we're all moving into the dark, aren't we? We're moving into the dark. It's happening. So anyway, that's your reminder for that. And as I said, if this is your first time here, if you didn't get a welcome packet when you came in, our ushers are coming forward with those now. Whether you did or not, we'd love for you to raise your hand so that we can see where you are and give you a nice warm welcome. We're glad you joined us on this fun Sunday here at Unity. Here you go. Right here, Joyce. Yep, we got a couple. We'll get to you. On the back of the packet, there's a neon card. Joyce, right here. 2. We'd love for you to fill this card out, okay, and drop it in. This will get you on our mailing list. You get an email newsletter every week. It'll fill you in on everything that's happening here. On the front of the packet, there's a rose sticker, and we'd love for you to stick that to your clothing or your name tag so that we know who you are and can give you a warm welcome. And of course, we invite you downstairs for some wonderful social time together at our Coffee and Connection. There's a lot of good happening here, and yep, it's going to be a great holiday that we all create together. So thank you so much for your time this morning. Have a great week.
Thank you, Beth. All right, and we do welcome all of you who are here for the first time, or if you haven't been here in a long time, we just want you to know wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. We believe that every being is a whole infinite creation of spirit with a mighty purpose for being here on this planet. And it's such an important thing for us to recognize and to be a part of saying, I belong, I'm important, I'm a part of something larger. If this community works for you, I would encourage you to become a part. Right now, we all need to connect and remind ourselves who we are and where we touch base in humanity. If this community does not work for you, I would encourage you to continue seeking. Find a place that says, oh yes, I am infinite. I am more than I have maybe been told in the past. And there's an opening for me. So we're happy you're here. We are going to stand and sing.
Yes, all that I need.
All that I need
comes to me.
All that I need comes to me.
The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. I've been set free. Been set free. I'm released. I've been set free. I'm released. The burden of my past has gone away at last. I've been set free. I'm released. Sweet rain that washes me clean. Rain that washes me clean. Mind creates all things, into my life it brings. Yes, sweet rain that washes me clean. Sweet rain. All that I need comes to me. All that I need, it comes to me. The light of love and grace shines upon my face. All that I need comes to me. All that I need, it comes to me. Yo. All that I need comes to me. Oh yeah. Two, three, four. You look good.
I love all these hats and all these things that are happening. If you're newer to Unity and you haven't been through a Halloween, you might be surprised that there's people in costumes. And one of the things as you come into Unity, as you look at some of the ideas that we share, first of all, we don't have dogma, so we're not telling you what to believe and how to believe. And the other thing that is a basic teaching of ours is that there's one presence and one power, not two. Now, we have free will, and we can get into some interesting places, and humanity has, and we're all evolving and growing through that. But the truth is that every being is a part of that whole field and that infinite presence and power. And so choosing to show up in a costume is simply playing. And it's fun, and it's the ability to celebrate life and to look at who we are, because we are. We have the universe here, we have the Pope, we have all kinds of things happening. And we recognize that every day we play a part, and we're learning to get to our hearts and to evolve and to find a larger understanding for ourselves and for all of humanity. And so I just invite you to enjoy the play and enjoy the life. In just a moment, we're going to move within and take some time in meditation. And that time in the quiet is an opportunity to anchor. You know, quantum physics shows us that everywhere present is energy. It's vibrant and it's alive. And as we breathe, it's already in us. We're just remembering. And so I just invite you to get quiet and just begin remembering and allowing the oneness that you are to move through you and into your being, into your remembering.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
There is only love. As I relax my body, continuing to turn within, letting go of all outer thoughts and things, I loose them and let them go and turn within, remembering I am that I am, one presence, one power, peace. I am peace. I breathe that in. I am one with the infinite. I simply allow my being to rest in oneness, knowing that love, as the energy field, the quantum field, it resides within me. It vibrates. I open my heart, I open my being, and I rest, knowing there is only love. And I am love in the silence. And in this place of knowing that I am one with a one, and pure love vibrates as me now, I simply say yes to that movement of spirit. Yes to the remembering of the beautiful, of the joyous. Remembering I am gratitude, and that gratefulness, overflowing gratefulness, fills my being this day. And so it is. Amen.
When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only
All right, here we go.
I've discovered the secret of happiness is learning how to glide. I've discovered the secret of happiness is just enjoy the ride. Don't let the journey be tainted by pride. And I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to mourn the past. I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to run too fast. You can still beat them by coming in last. And the secret of happiness is I've discovered the secret of happiness is not to be afraid. I've discovered the secret of happiness is all illusions fade. Don't fear the future, you'll just be delayed. 'Cause the secret of happiness is living in the now, living in the time it takes to blink, I think is how we're meant to be living. I've discovered the secret of happiness is following my
how do you see the music? You're seeing it good, okay. That's wonderful. The secret of happiness. How many of us thought, oh, today's a day to be happy all week long? Anybody feel that way? This idea, this secret of living and that it's now and that we can open to it. We're in the 5th week of an 8-week journey. And by the way, we'll be taking next week off because Karen Drucker will be doing both the music and the message. And we are blessed. It's been years since she's brightened this community with her music and her message. So I'm grateful for that. But we're looking at the idea of living untethered, of getting, and it's, beyond the human predicament. How do we get beyond the human predicament? And I want to talk a little bit about the idea of happiness being where we are, and how do we allow the innate flow of the universe to move through us? Because things can get really serious. Did anybody's life get serious this week? Anybody? I think we have 2. Okay, a few of us. Life can get so serious, and things around us are happening. And how do we allow a larger picture than that to show up and to source us and to allow us to remember who we are within that? Every one of us has been on a spiritual journey from the time we were born. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. I bet almost every one of us in here has heard that. The idea we are spiritual beings. That's the basis of who we are. So when I started the service and I talked about the quantum field, that's what we live and move and have our being within. It is an energy field. Science has proven it. They call it the 0-point energy field because when you get to nothing in mathematics, if you don't count in the energy field that's underlying that, the equations won't work. They're everywhere. There is no open space. There is quantum soup, and we're living in it. And every one of us as a divine soul has said yes to being born at this time in this place in history. Wow. And we've said yes to our bodies and incarnating in this time. What does that mean? So then we have the choice. We're born, and you look at these beings, these babies, these beautiful lights, and you say, look at this beauty. I want that. I want them to go through life and know that. And then life kind of happens to us, and we begin forgetting it. Anybody forget this week that I'm a creation of spirit? Anybody? I did. How do we get so busy in the things that are happening? We hear the news. We hear what's happening around our world. This planet has been evolving from its beginning. And humanity on this planet has been evolving from its beginning. We are a part of that. I would like us to see that we come to a place of absolute peace during our lifetimes. And yet what I realize is we get to say, right here, right now, I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing to start with a larger story. One of the things we teach in all of our prayer classes, and last Monday when we started that prayer class, we said you start out with an awareness of the presence and power of God. You can call it whatever you want. God may not be comfortable. Spirit, the infinite, the quantum field. We start out with an awareness with that because that allows us to move further, to know a base. Because this idea of the absolute and the appearance out here. So you've got the absolute underlying reality, which is the quantum field. And then you've got every material presence and appearance that's around you. What's there right now? We watched what happened in Maine, and we held prayer. We had a previous member of the congregation, of this congregation, contact me saying, my daughter and I have just left. We're sheltering in place, and we got to hold them. I got to hold them in prayer, and we called Silent Unity. We hold beings in prayer, but we start with this underlying awareness. There's the presence and power. There's things going on in the Ukraine and in Russia and in all of that's happening there. There's things going on in the Gaza Strip. There's things that are just, we say, how can this happen? And then there's things in the House of Representatives, and then there's things in our individual lives. Every one of us has these things, and we could say, oh my goodness, it's too much. We have said yes to the evolutionary movement of humanity and to being a part right now. I don't know why I chose this body or this life or this thing or why my world looks like what it is or your world looks like what it is, but what I know is right where you are is exactly where you need to be. I'd invite you just to breathe that in. I said yes to evolving at this point of humanity. You said yes to evolving at your point of humanity. And what we're learning to do then is when things come up, and what we've been studying in here is when the thoughts come, we're not our thoughts. And the way that we find that center and that seat of self is to be able to be the observer, saying, wow, what an interesting thought. I wonder what stuffed thing is down there or up there or anywhere else that is saying, fear, fear. We are evolving the prehistoric brain and the idea of getting out of that. If you want to really get clear on what we're doing, humanity right now is evolving from a fear-based thinking, which was necessary for survival, to be able to move to the frontal lobe and think in a different way. How easy is that? Anybody found it easy? Anybody find it easy? Getting ready this morning, I thought, how is life? How does it happen this way? There was an incident in the stovetop, the glass got broken, and I was worried about, okay, does the glass have to get broken? I slept with a note that says, cake for Pat Greendale, get it from the fridge, don't forget. Now, Pat is 93 today. Happy birthday, Pat. The cake did get here. Then... But I did. I slept with this thing right next to my bed. I picked it up and carried it to the bathroom so I wouldn't forget. And I thought, wait a minute, I have a normal brain. How can this be? But my biggest concern was that I wouldn't actually get it into the here, that I would be driving it over later tonight, because sometimes when there's stress going on and there's collective stress and there's stuff and there's just ideas in life and my one daughter says, where's my black pants? Now, there's 350 pairs of black pants in a house with 3 females. And she said, you know, the ones that I never wear. And it's like life just says, go out here, go out here. Those are all the appearances of what's happening. What I know is that there's a bigger story underneath it all. And more I can just observe the thoughts that say, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this. What's wrong? Or the things that trigger me. Because everything we've stuffed, and Michael Singer calls them some scars. Every time something's happened in our lives, and it is hurt, and we didn't allow it to move through us freely, we have stuffed it. We've put it down there, and it comes up. The universe offers us every opportunity to heal what is inside of us. And it will continue as long as you are breathing. So if you hope to resist it, it will show up later. That's all I can say. What would happen if when stuff came up, we just said, oh, interesting. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my body. I'm not my being. Instead, I'm something more. And what is that something more? That's what we're looking at right now. And how do we access it so that when the stuff comes up, we find a place of peace? Now, this whole universe, everything that is in the universe right now is designed to help us heal, to help us evolve what's there. All the wars, all of the pieces that are here, there aren't mistakes. Now, I don't agree with it, and I'll tell you what, I know that on an individual level, I can make my life much better when I decide not to go down the rabbit hole of life is horrible. There's nothing that I can do. They are the problem. When I go back inside, anchor with that quantum field, my idea of what is one presence and one power, whatever name I want to call it, and begin breathing from there. I am the one who observes. I'm not what comes up in my mind, and today we're moving on to I'm not what happens in my heart, in my feelings. How have our feelings been this week? Isn't it fascinating? Do you know, our lives become run by the stuff we stuff down, because there's a fear of this or a fear of this. In fact, Michael Singer says Stored patterns are going to determine where you go, what inspires you, who you marry, whether you get divorced. You're not determining your path through life, they are. Until you get very centered in witness consciousness, you are going to follow your thoughts and emotions, and they are determined by your samskaras, which is a Buddhist term for all the stuff that you have stuffed, all the thought patterns that you resisted. You said, no, I don't have it in me to feel this. It hurts too much. It might hurt me, so I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to pretend it's not there. And the universe, in its perfect healing pattern, that as it always does, said, here, honey, let me give it to you like this. And it comes up over here. And something happens, and you're like, no, that already hurts, and I don't even know what it is, but I don't want anything to do with it. That's that pattern coming up. In radical forgiveness, it says that basically there's nothing to forgive because everything that's happening is something coming up that's ready to be healed. And that could be an individual pattern. It could be a collective pattern. Do you think we have any collective patterns in this country? As we actually get honest about our history and begin learning what white privilege is, learning what the true history of the country is, what it does is it brings up places that have been stuffed. And every one of us gets to hold a breath a little bit longer than we did before and begin to learn again. Begin to find something more, to say, whoa, I chose to be born into this pattern. You could have chosen to be born into this pattern. Our community has people of all backgrounds, all ideas, all races, all sexual orientation. We've all chosen differently. But we've done so because we come equipped with the ability then to evolve just a little bit more. What's fascinating to me is, does it have to feel so strong? Does it have to be difficult to stand when I'm in pain and just breathe and say, I'm not that pain? It hurts, but that's not me. And I'm the observer to that. And then I get to say, oh, whoa, it came up again. Imagine that. And what we're doing, what is the who that's looking? There's a divine pattern of the universe. The first teaching that we look at in unity and in New Thought is the idea that there is a presence and a power. We can call it whatever we want, God, the infinite presence and power, and that power is within every being. That power is within every being. Now, when I was growing up and I was in Florida, the word you heard was Christ. And the idea that the word Christ, at the time of Jesus, there were many Christs. Christ meant anointed one. It was a term of someone who had gathered wisdom. And Jesus was one, and there were others. Jesus came as a way shower. And so this idea that that divine pattern is within me and within every human being, what it does is it allows us to know it's in me, it's in you, it's in all of us. That is respect. We can now call it the divine pattern, the divine essence, but we get to know it's in us. That's the one who is the observer. That's the one, when it's difficult, that we call upon and allow ourselves to breathe through. Every time Jesus went to the hilltop to pray, went to the mountain to pray, it wasn't that there were just mountains everywhere and he thought it was fun to climb a mountain. That is a spiritual representation in a book that is never meant to be taken literally, ever. That is not, it is a wisdom text. And the way you take it is you say, oh, what does that mean? Oh, the Christ in me, the divine pattern in me, when it wants to see a higher picture, it goes to a higher point of view. It goes to a place of remembering, I'm one with this universe. I came to evolve it. I came to be a part of it. There's something more happening in here. And I have all that I need to hold that space. And when we get a little higher, we find something more. I want to read to you something, and there's copies out in the entryway. Hopefully I will get to read it to you. It was by Rabbi Erwin Keller. It was written last week, and it's called Taking Sides. Today I'm taking sides. I am taking the side of peace. peace which I will not abandon even when its voice is drowned out by hurt and hatred, bitterness or loss, cries of right and wrong. I am taking the side of peace, whose name has barely been spoken in this winterless war. I will hold peace in my arms and share my body's breath, lest peace be added to the body count. I will call for de-escalation even when I want nothing more than to get even. I will do it in the service of peace. I will make a clearing in the overgrown thicket of cause and effect so peace can breathe for a minute and reach for the sky. I will do what I must to save the life of peace. I will breathe through tears. I will swallow pride. I will bite my tongue. I will offer love without testing for deservingness. So don't ask me to wave a flag today unless it is the flag of peace. Don't ask me to sing an anthem unless it is a song of peace. Don't ask me to take sides unless it is the side of peace. I'm not saying that's the right answer, but I'm saying there's a way to hold something larger when we don't know how to solve a centuries-old problem. And it's in the universal quantum field. The pattern for peace is already available. And in your life, when you have the inclination to say it's their fault, and if they weren't in my life would be good. That's a message saying, oop, something's come up in me to be healed. And many times when I work to hold what's happening, when I work to see enough of what's happening in Maine that I know what's going on, not enough to spend the whole day watching it because then I know my brain has gone into some place that is not the truth. But to see what's happening, can I hold a place of breath that's large enough that says there's something more happening? And for every one of you, I hold that space. I believe that all things work together for good and can serve in a way we may not understand right now. I don't know why your soul said yes to being a part of this part of the journey, but I know there's a perfect order, and that everyone involved has access to a higher understanding and a higher way of opening our hearts. And this week we're actually supposed to be talking about the heart, so I will get to it. But I want us to, the practice of allowing energy to come from our hearts. Our hearts have enough energy and enough life and vibration for them to take us through our whole journey and to handle everything that's happening. But when we stuff stuff, guess where a lot of it gets stuck? It gets stuck in our hearts. It gets stuck in places where it comes from our heart up through our mind. One of the old books that I've read, she was one of the co-founders, or she was a vice president of the Institute of Heart Math. And she wrote a book, The Hidden Power of the Heart, Achieving Balance and Fulfillment in a Stressful World. It's not even in print anymore. They do sell used copies, but mine is so underlined that you can't even see what's going on. This is the second copy I've had. But it talks about just the science. Our hearts are strong enough to make it through anything that's happening in our lives, any place we find ourselves. And you might say, well, I'm not accepted by society, or I'm not included, I'm not this, I'm not that. I agree. You have chosen an interesting place. Oh my goodness, I look at my life and I say, how did you choose that, honey? Were there other choices? And then I think, you know what? Thank you, God, for where I am, because every bit of it has taught me and I can go further. Our hearts have all they need to handle the pain that's there. In fact, the power of our heart is that it is a continual energy source. It is continually sourcing us with all that we need. And yet, we don't always use it. We close our heart. Anybody do that on a regular basis? Our hearts can get so closed that we don't even think that there's a possibility of opening. I can tell you, your heart will open as you allow the stuff to move out. We have, in fact, in Unity, I grew up in the Sunday school, and or the youth and family ministry. So I don't think it's called Sunday school anymore, but whatever it's called, they taught us every year about the power of love in our hearts, and that it was there, it was available, and you could call it forth. And I have made that practice our 12 Powers class, the Claim Your Inner Power. We're looking at these powers that we have. When my husband chose death by suicide, there were 2 years when I really wondered, have I lost that? Now, I've been teaching as a minister for over a decade. I had been teaching as a licensed teacher for a decade. I'd been teaching for forever in the youth and family ministry, and I thought I'd lost that power. What I got to do was sit with my hands folded and begin to say, I am love. The power of love resides within me. My heart vibrates. And I did it month after month after month. And one day I was like, there's a vibration. There's movement. I don't know what happened. But it was 2 years later. And it was a time for me to trust. And a lot of us right now are going on trust. We don't know where life is supposed to go. But what we do know is that every one of us has a heart that has a vibration that is 100% of the time vibrating energy. And the design is that that energy flows through us, and it opens us to ideas and to our lives and to where we are. The places where we've closed it, it doesn't matter what happened to us. Now, I say that with great respect. I have worked with people who have been through things, and some of you here have been through things that would bring us to our knees. I honor that. You have come as a hero. And your heart has all that it needs to take you through whatever is yours to heal and to grow. And it's little stuff, and it's big stuff. And when we begin holding that, and holding that the power of our heart is there, and we can observe when it comes up, and whew, there comes a feeling. Anybody have them? In Buddhism, they say, Buddha said, and this too. And I remember wanting to strangle my mother. That was her favorite thing when something happened. And this too, honey. And I was like, that's it, that's it. And guess what I say now? And this too. What do you do when you become your mother? It's simply, these ideas come into you. And I had a wise mother, and I'm so grateful for all the teachings. Some of them I've gotten in the last year or two even. I just keep saying, oh my, I didn't listen to that one. I guess I get to now. You are the observer, observing the feelings that come up. Identify them. Oh, that's fear. Oh, that's sorrow. Oh, that's joy. Identify them. But you're not that feeling. You are more than that because you're infinite. You have the intelligence, you have the idea, you have the wholeness, and your opportunity is to allow what needs to come up and be healed, to be healed. That means sometimes you just say, oh, and this too, and you hold compassion around it. Sometimes we have answers, sometimes we don't, but the universe does. The quantum field does. And all I need to do is hold there's one presence and one power. And when I can't, and there's glass on the countertop, and I'm breathing, and I can't seem to hold anything at all, I find shutting up works really well. That's one of the things. And standing there, and then just saying there's something more than this. This may have been the experience. I wonder what it could teach me. And often that takes a couple days. And then I get to go back and say, okay, how do I do it differently? How do I learn differently? How do I grow differently? Every being on this planet is working to learn that. They're working to learn that. My sister-in-law's brother, she's Russian, they're Russian. He was taken by the Russian army to be put into service. He got free. How do you heal? How do you trust? How do you move out? So he's moved out of Russia. He says, I have to get out of this idea. Sometimes we have to get out of where we are because it's not large enough. But many times when we think I have to run, what we have to do is heal. We have to hold a larger space. So you have within you everything you need for this day. And if you need help, call out. Call out to somebody who's going to say, you've got it within you. You have that. What I know is that your heart moves energy every moment of every day. When it's blocked, it doesn't move as much. You can feel it. It can turn into depression. We're holding it there. We're holding it. One of the best books on depression, and I'm not remembering it right now, is Johann Hari and his book. Does anybody know what that is? Okay, I will remember it. Lost Connections is the name of it. Lost Connections. Many times in depression, we've just gotten used. We think that's our heart is staying that way. It's not staying that way forever. It's just gotten there. And so he gives pathways to opening it. By the way, I used to think if I just get my heart open, I got it. Trust me, life happens. It's happening every moment right now. You are qualified for it. When your heart closes, go into your witness, relax, say, wow, wonder what's happening. Wonder what's there to be healed. Wonder why this is happening. And just watch. Just allow it to be. And then go back to the place that this presence and power within you, the power of your heart, the power of your soul, the power of your being, will take another step and another step and another step. And the part that we all get to remember is we never do it alone. Part of this journey of healing is reaching out a hand and reminding somebody else that they are whole. We walk each other home. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And as we receive our tithes and our love offerings, as we open, and I say it almost every Sunday, as we open to a larger idea of our economy, of who we are within that, I would invite you to be a part of the investment in this community. I do believe really strongly that Unity Spiritual Center of Portland is a place where people can gather and know who they are. There are quite a few different ways to share your offerings. They are in blue cards in the backs of your seat. You can take that with you. You can take a picture of it. You can work with it, but it shows you how to do it online, where to text for. You can mail in a check, and we also have people who I believe are doing the offering as soon as they get the baskets. So what we know, our prayer, divine love as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we just say, thank you, God, because love is the healing, harmonizing power of the universe.
Here we go.
In light of the costume, we have a little, you can keep playing. You
oh,
keep
that's
playing.
right.
You keep playing.
Yeah.
My underscoring. A little tune that didn't make it to the film of Frozen 2, so it's a little deep cut from Frozen.
And this is Anna,
Right.
if you didn't notice.
I smell the salty breeze blowing through the fjord. I hear those creaky ships as old board meets old board. I breathe in the place I live and wonder what else can I give this home, my home. Wandering through the town with everyone doing all of their stuff. Somewhere in my heart I feel I've not yet done enough for these people I know. This place that I love so, my home, my home. Woo-hoo. Woo. I whistle as I walk, the lovely smell of Kranzakaka wafting out of the baker's door. The merchants haggling over fish remind me I have what I wish, 'cause I'm not alone anymore. I'm grateful for this castle and everything we've got, especially my family. We've all been through a lot. I know how fragile things can be. If I lost them, I'd lose me. ocean. They're my shore. I wanna give them more. They're my home, my home. Bless this happiness we found. Bless this good and solid ground. Our home, our home, our home, our home, our home, our home. I'm home.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you for sharing that with us. What a delight. I'm home. You know, we have 2 birthdays today. Alan Pasternak is turning, am I allowed to say? He's turning 77, so he has his delightful birthday. 3. And Annie Adams is here with a birthday. Oh my goodness. I'm losing this. And there are flowers for you, my dear, for 93. I think you got the record. So thank you. And to anyone else who has a birthday, we get to know that truly we are that love and that light and that presence. And part of what we get to do with our hearts is share that love. I believe that as we do, it empowers, and it's a practice. It is literally a practice of building the energy of the heart and the awareness. And so we have a whole group of kids out there that are ready to come in and show you their selves, their altar selves, and everything in between. And I just invite you to create an energy field of love into which they walk.
And you can actually enjoy the song with us.
Okay.
The Adams Family.
Oh.
Here we go. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together kooky. They're the family. They're in the museum when people come to see you. The people are screaming. The Unity family.
Who wants it?
Come on down. Go that way. Oh my gosh. You go this. Yeah, you go with them.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're together kooky. The Adams family.
Right here.
The museum.
Stand up. Stand
Come
up.
to see you. They really are screaming. The Unity family.
There's nothing to say. This is us. This is us. We've had a great time.
And thank you to our YOUers, and was it Uniteens also, who spent the night here? I know how hard those floors are. Thank you to the adults who spent the night with them. And I hear we have a haunted house
A
downstairs.
great haunted house.
A wonderful.
Listen to the teens. They'll put you in the line. Follow the
Okay.
rules.
And they will
Okay?
do it for kids. They will do it according to how scary or unscary you like it. They have practiced all of the levels. And that goes for adults too. So welcome back, Nick. It's good to have you here again. We're so happy to have all of you here. Wow. We're going to stand and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me.
Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the end, family all are we.
Wow, we are so, so blessed. You know, what came up for me was just all the Sundays that I stood here during the pandemic with no one but a musician and a sound person and a live stream. And I'm so grateful to all of you and for all of us just to say thank you, Infinite Spirit, for this presence for us in one space. What a blessing. And we're going to close with our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please join us downstairs. We're going to sing the youth out. It may take a while.